All right, so I got a customer call for a tandem trailer, or a slider trailer won't slide. That's probably because of the load, because of the heavy load. It's a bleach load, ABS issue, and landing gear is hard to roll up. So ABS issue wise, depending on what it is, I can just make checks on it. If everything checks out and he's got no power to the ABS module, or I'm not going to be able to get ABS module, and check the sensors and stuff like that, which I already let the company know. So we're going to get out here and check it out. And my light just went off. What the hell? I swear this is not the right light. Give me a second here, guys. I gotta get some new headlights. All right. I don't know why I'm even keeping that one. All right, so let's check it out, see what we got. We're gonna try to slide the tandems first, and then we'll worry about the rest of it. What's up, man? I'm sorry? All right, well, you got a slider issue, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay.
The brakes too.
What do you mean the brakes?
The brakes. The trailer doesn't have any brakes.
In other words, the ABS light's on. It doesn't mean you don't have brakes. You got ABS light on, correct? Because they didn't say nothing about brakes. They said ABS issue, landing gear hard to roll up, and you can't slide your tandems.
Yes.
Okay, so you're thinking you have no brakes because your ABS light's on?
I don't have no brakes too. I lost the ABS. Just okay with that. Just right now, just we work on tandem on the ABS light.
All right. Well, what I need you to do anyway first, we're gonna try to slide this thing first. So, all right, I want you to pull up a little bit so we're able to slide. All right. So apparently the driver wasn't all honest with him. He thinks he has no brakes. So we're gonna check it out and see what's going on with it. It sounds like just because you have an ABS light on does not mean you don't have brakes. All right, it just means you don't have the anti-braking system working right. So.
Hey, boss, how are you? Thanks for coming. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Sorry?
The door is open if you need any access to inside.
No, I won't need access inside. I just need one of you guys to be behind the wheel.
Yeah. Normally, sometimes the ABS light, usually when you're driving, sometimes it goes off. But for this one, we try to pull the brake out, try to pull it, and it just doesn't work at all.
What do you mean? The trailer rolls with the red button out?
Yeah.
All right.
Because normally, sometimes, because you drive it so much that usually sometimes you have the ABS light comes on when you drive, it goes away, but it works. But this one is just really bad.
Okay, but you're talking about two different problems.
Yes, sir.
Just because your ABS light's on does not mean you don't have brakes on this trailer. If you pull, that's two different problems. So if you pull with that red button out, that's a separate problem from the ABS light being on.
Oh.
Okay, ABS light doesn't disable the brakes.
I don't have, that's why.
The only thing you won't have when ABS light's on is the anti-brake system.
Gotcha.
And then what that does, the only thing that does is when you go and you got to jam on your brake, the ABS is supposed to tell the wheels not to lock up fully. That's where you get your slippage on your wheel.
But I told our wife they can send somebody like you, like the expert. But I appreciate it coming though. And then the tandem, it just gets locked up. Even the jack is all fucked up, but it took like 40 minutes for me to put it up. But the tandem, it gets stuck. If we move the trailer back and forth, it comes off, but then it gets locks again.
What, the slider you mean?
Yeah, the tandem, like we
Is it an air slider?
No, it's.
Oh, okay. All right.
You want some water or anything?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Right.
Just let me look under there real fast at the brakes. Okay. Tell him not to move this truck. I'll be under there.
Yeah, okay. No, nobody's gonna. He went back to sleep.
All right. Well, I had told him to pull up at the beginning. Okay. Tell him to wait on that. All right. We're gonna go down here and take a look and see what the pads and stuff look like. See if they're even against the drum, because they're claiming and that they, with the red button out, they can pull this trailer. And get my big light out. Alright, whoops.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Well, they're against the drum. They might just need to be adjusted. These heavy loads, bleach loads, they got the tails all the way back because they have to load it. Well, the brakes, these brakes are pretty low. They're going to have to get a brake job done on this thing. But while I'm here, they're going to have to get this thing to a shop and let them do the brakes. They're all low. Except for this one. Somebody's replaced this one. Alright. Well, you have to call the company and see what they say. This thing will need brakes. Let me take you off here. They're pretty much almost illegal. That's what they look like. This one's a little bit thicker than the other ones up front, which I'll show you. Well, somebody's replaced this wheel on this side here. It's pretty low. It's still legal, but they're not gonna last a long time. There's that one there. Anyway, they're all stuck to the jump. I might just have to readjust it to get on the slide. I don't know. But like I said, with this heavy load they got on it, it's hard to do it. Sometimes I have to put blocks behind the wheels. So we're gonna have them do a tug test. It's got the landing gear up. So put you back on my net. Now let's see if this thing actually rolls. Probably should have checked the ABS while I was under there. All right. Oh. All right, do me a favor, get in the truck, pushing the yellow button. I just want you to do a tug test for me, okay? No, they're not rolling. Okay. All right. All right. Well, it's going to. You got a heavy load for one. Your brakes are still legal, but they're low too. All right. So I'll let USA know they'll have to. Somebody's replaced the brake on the rear axle left side there already. But I mean, you're not rolling this freely. I can just hear the brakes. The more force you put on, you can move any trailer with that kind of weight like that. So what I'm gonna do, I want you to pull up some. I'll probably, because with these bleach loads, even when the brakes are good and they're thick, I still have to put blocks on them because you got the tandems all the way back. So the trailer's kind of bowed, so it puts pressure on the slider, makes it harder for you to slide it back in the middle again, especially with this weight. So I come here all the time doing this with other trucks. So pull up some, just pull up a little bit, because when I do get it to back, you know, to get it to slide or see what it's doing, we're not gonna hit no fence or anything. So I'm gonna get my stuff, and then you just pull up a little bit. Don't have to be far. I'm sorry?
5, 10 feet.
No, not that. No, just a couple. Just yeah.
Let me know. Give me the hand signal. I'll pull over.
All right, go ahead. A little more. All right, that's good. All right. All right, especially when you're trying to slide the trailer back.
Yes, sir.
Your brakes don't get as much grip going back. So, yeah, especially with the weight you got on there. All right. All right. Oh wait. Well, this is pretty much slid up. How far you want this slid? How far you want to slid? Because it's already in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, now it's good. So before it was all the way, actually, it was all the way like, it was all the way pulled forward. And like I said, once we called you,
yeah,
tried to mess with it. I'm like, you know what, let's see if anything works.
Oh, so you don't have to slide it now?
No, yeah, now. But
okay.
we are going to take it to the weigh station to make sure that it is kind of like, it's balanced out. I don't know how they stacked it inside, so I want to make sure it's probably balanced out because like 43,000.
Okay, but you did get it to slide.
Yeah, I mean, now it's working though, yeah.
Okay.
Right now it's still stuck, so and now we can pull it out and off, it should work.
Well, if you got it to slide once, you'll get it to slide again. Yeah. It's in the middle. You had, like I said, you had problems because the Tim's all the way in the back.
Yeah.
The trailer goes down a little bit, okay? And it puts pressure on the track. Even though there's Teflon Teflon pads in between the track and the subframe, that pressure, it's hard, it's tough, especially when you're trying to back the trailer up to slide the tandems, when you slide them forward.
Stupid. I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge, because normally we have had a bunch of other trailers that had like 44,000 weight almost. But normally when you pull it kind of pulls out, but this one is stuck. So you're saying it's because of the weight, or? No,
it's stuck because you're pressurized here. You see, this pin is up against the frame.
Got you.
So what you got to do is, I mean, we can do it, but I'm gonna put, this ain't one of these easy sliders.
Yeah.
So I'll hold pressure on it, and you just put some back pressure on it, and as soon as that track comes off the pin, it should pull right out.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, because this is the first time I ever gone through this, and
well, this is an old trailer. Usually, USA's got air sliders and the easy pulls. Yeah. This is an old trailer.
Yeah, because we're going toward New Jersey, like almost New York, so I don't want to, because the cops are kind of like much stricter, so I don't want to take a chance with them,
Yeah.
So that was the only reason. But
well, if you look over here, you can see here.
Yes, sir. And thank you for telling me all this. This is
no problem.
A lot of energy.
You see that pin right there?
Yes, sir.
You see the track?
Yeah.
It's up against the pin.
The corner part, yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
So that's what it is.
It's pressurized.
Yeah.
So one of you guys got to hold pressure on, just hold pressure on the handle, and just have them lightly put back pressure on it. When that track slides a little bit, you're going to be able to pull it through.
Yeah, I just wanted to, this is my first time, because a lot of times, sometimes we're doing teams, so he's sleeping or I'm sleeping. So sometimes I don't want to wake him up, ruin his sleep.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I guess it seems like there's no other way. If that's, hopefully. But
well, it's either that or you do it by yourself. You kind of put a little back pressure on it, and if you kind of feel slide a little bit, stop, and then come out and see if it's directly in the middle. It's just easier when you have two people.
Gotcha.
Because you can be jumping in and out of that truck 4 or 5 times, maybe 10 times.
Right. All
right, so the brakes are actually holding with the red button now. Okay. So you're probably having an issue trying to slide the tandems forward because you're pushing back. The brakes are low. They're not illegal yet, but they are low.
Okay.
But I checked every one of them, and they're all...
As long as they're illegal, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell USA. I mean, they're thin. If you want to get on there and look at them, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the only one that has the thickest pad on it, is this rear axle wheel.
That one, okay.
Somebody's put brake pads on this.
Got you.
Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it so much. If you let them know, and then I will let them know too, for them
all right.
Check it out.
Let me
do a drop.
All right, so what I want to do next is I'm going to check the ABS cords, and I want to check for power, but I want to check for power on your truck side for ABS too.
So you want me to open the front hood?
No, you don't need to do that.
Okay.
I know I unlocked that. Okay, so he's got ABS power. Alright, so you got ABS power. I'm gonna check under there for the sensors. Let me lock my door here. Make sure everything. Oop. Alright, I'm just going to check the wiring to the sensors, make sure they're plugged in and all that. And then if I can easily get to the wire harness plug to the actual ABS. If there's no power to that, if I got power on that side, that means there's no power for the ABS module. I'm not going to get my ABS module at 12 o'clock at night. And there's so many of them, so yeah. So let me just check, just leave the truck where it's at, don't do nothing. All right, so he's already slid the tandems. I just noticed that. So let's get under here and check the wiring and stuff. Hopefully I can get a ground under here. Let's see. Alright, there's the ABS there. Alright, so that one's plugged in. And that one's plugged in. Usually they only have two. Yep. Okay, so they only have two on this one. That's good. So let me take you off here. Take my headset off too. Alright. So you've got power on this tractor side for ABS, power for the trailer. So hopefully you can see that. Here's the hopefully you can see that. So here's the clips for the ABS plug. Stuck on there. Alright, so we'll take this off and see if we got power on the plug. If we have power on the plug, then the ABS module's not working. It's failed. So I gotta find a ground. I don't know if this would be a good ground or not. Let's try this. Not a good ground. How about the tank? I think I'm so rusted under here. getting a good ground on this trailer so I can check for power. But there's another way to do it. If I plug this in, let's see what happens. All right, so there is power there because the ABS, that tick-tick sound is the test it's going through. So the module is probably good. It could be a sensor that's going bad. We're not reading no wheel speed or anything. So, but I checked. They're plugged in. It's plugged in. In the hole. Oops, sorry, you can't see that, right? Alright, and that's plugged into. Alright, so the ABS module is working because when I plugged it back in, it went through its test. That's the tick-tick sound you hear. So, I just can't get it. It's hard to get a good ground underneath the trailer, especially when it's rusted or it's got all this sealant stuff on it, this seal coat stuff. So. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Alright, so pretty much not much I can do about anything. He's got the tandem slid. The only problem he's having is it depends under pressure, but ain't nothing you can do with it. He's already slid it once. Anyway, so they'll have to get it to a trailer shop that has the ABS program for the trailers and actually put it on there and see what's going on with it. Like I said, it's most likely going to be a sensor. Could be a wheel speed not reading anymore, but everything's connected. So nothing's disconnected, everything's plugged in, no broken wires. So now we're going to check his landing gear real fast because he says it's hard to roll up. I'll get my light. Don't forget. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, it is hard.
It took me like 40 minutes to bring this bitch up.
All right, well, that's because the leg is there's supposed to be some slack in here in the legs, but there's not. It kind of looks bent. This side looks bent. All right, it looks like this leg's bent.
Oh, that's what it is?
It looks like it. You got gap in the front here, and it's pressurized on the back of the leg. There ain't nothing I can do with it.
It took me like 40 minutes.
So it was easy to a certain point, and then it got hard the further you went, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know from the beginning it was like only like 1 second, but like from the whole way, it's just really hard. And you're right, but yeah, in the beginning, the first couple seconds, yeah, it went fast, and then suddenly I had to put all my weight on it to put it up though.
It's hard to tell. I mean, it looks like this might be bent, and then I see a little gap in between here, a little gap there, because this should be loose. Okay. It's either that or the legs are jacked inside, and it'll need a new set of legs.
Yeah, it took me like 40 minutes in this car. Why did it take so long?
All right. ABS I can't do nothing with. It might be a sensor. You do have power to the ABS module, so it could be a wheel sensor.
Yeah, no problem. Well, overall, I thank you for coming. If you could just make a note to let them know.
Well, no, I'll call USA and let them know the deal with everything.
And yeah, I just on the brakes for whoever in the future they drive.
All right, let me get my pad and get some info, and then you're good to go. All right, so, but just let somebody know about the brakes, that the 3 wheels are low, and they'll need to get it to a shop so they can get brake job done.
Don't send them an email too or some message?
No, I don't send emails. I'll give them a call.
Okay.
But whoever you called, you need to update them too.
I'll let them know that the trailers, the back, the front one, they need to fix those, and I'll let them know.
3 wheels are going to need brakes, okay, because they're low. But right now, when you did your tug test, them wheels didn't roll. They actually stuck. You know what I mean? But the more pressure you pull on, the more force you get on them, yeah, they're going to kind of roll, but they're not rolling easy. They're barely rolling. You can hear the brakes trying to keep them from stopping. All right, let me get my pad, get some info, and then I'll call USA and update them. Right. But you need to update.
I'll give them a call too, let them know.
Yeah.
All right.
Because just because I update USA doesn't mean the message is going to get passed.
Yeah, I'll give them a call right now.
All right. All right, so we'll get the information and we're done with this one. I'm gonna put my stuff away and be done. P903 255. No hub. All right. GD. All right. All right, man, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just be careful with.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are.
There are times where we go through places where you really need a break, you know. I'd rather be safe, just, you know.
All right, well, just be careful with it and make sure they make arrangements for you to get by a shop so they can take care of this.
I'm gonna let them know right now.
All right, then.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right, so that's gonna do it for this one. I don't know why I'm still recording. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so that's gonna do it for this one. And we get cleaned up here, get my stuff put away, and I'll be heading to Swedesboro, New Jersey next. So see you over there.